Welcome to Doncast Deep Dive. We're really glad you could join us today.
Yeah, welcome everyone.
So this is Doncast Deep Dives, Albums for the Ages. It's a series where we journey through the albums that have really shaped and inspired Don Phondeaux.
And Don Phondeaux, for those maybe less familiar, is just this incredible creative force. He blends music, storytelling, cultural expression, known for these really introspective reflections and curated soundscapes.
Absolutely. And these deep dives, they're not just, standard album reviews. They feel more like personal explorations, looking at growth, nostalgia, and just the timeless power music has to move us, right, through every season of life.
Yeah, it's about that connection.
Exactly. And this is episode 5 in the series.
So diving right in, today's focus.
Today we're getting into an R&B masterwork from 2016. It's KLY's debut project called KLYMAX.
Ah, KLYMAX. Okay, yeah, 2016.
Right, and it's just this this incredible sonic journey. It really navigates that complex space, between lust and love.
That tricky territory.
Totally. And somehow it manages to both soothe that ache of yearning, but also echo that kind of familiar emptiness we sometimes feel.
It sounds quite nuanced.
It is. It's subtle. It's definitely sensual and just so carefully crafted, like a real serenade that gives voice to feelings we don't always articulate.
So the big question then, connecting it back to Don, is why this album? Why does KLYMAX hold such a profound, lasting significance for Don Phondeaux, years after it first came out?
That's exactly what we want to unpack. And apparently Don recently came back to this album.
Oh, interesting. Why now?
Well, the insight is that some recent solitude had him kind of running through old memories, and that led him back to KLYMAX.
Okay, so it wasn't just a random listen.
No, not at all. And his feeling towards it now. He describes it as a somber reflection. It's a classic that still moves him very deeply, but maybe in a different, more reflective way now.
That makes sense. Time changes perspective.
For sure. And it's interesting, he specifically mentions his preference for the original version.
Not the KLYMAX re-up, the re-release.
Exactly. He says it's the original that really, truly sings to his senses.
That says a lot, doesn't it? Maybe about the initial rawness or the specific production choices of that first release.
I think so. It points to that perfect synergy he felt in the original 6. The writing, KLY's vocals, the production, how they all combine to create these soundscapes for feelings. Don says he can't always put into words himself.
Like it captured something essential right from the start.
Yeah. And to understand why it landed so hard then and why it still resonates, we actually need to go back a bit further.
Yeah.
Don's connection with KLY started around 2014.
Before the album then.
Right. He met KLY through Bonafide Billy, and KLY and Bonafide Billy were doing these collaborations, this thing called the #50 Fans Monday series.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Dropping new stuff regularly.
Exactly. And Don says that series really set the bar high for his anticipation of what KLY would do solo.
So the hype was building personally for him.
Definitely. And then there was a specific event, seeing KLY perform live at the New Year's Eve cookout in Lone Hill. That apparently really cemented his expectations.
The live experience. That often seals the deal.
Totally. So when KLY promised to flood the streets in 2016, Don was, ready. And KLY, well, he delivered with KLYMAX.
He certainly did. It made quite a splash.
And think about the time for Don personally. He was in his freshman year at university in Braamfontein.
Right, a big transition period. First year of uni.
Exactly. And he's quite open about it, saying, back then, he hadn't lived enough to really relate to all the subject matter, the complexities of relationships, the specific emotion.
He hadn't experienced it all yet.
Right. But, and this is key, he felt the emotions in every single note, even without the direct life experience.
That's fascinating, isn't it? How music works. You don't need the exact parallel experience to connect with the feeling.
Precisely. For him, it wasn't just background music. It felt like conversations, almost narrating these scenes of urban love, maybe in mid-city, with this energy he describes as both mellow and intoxicating.
So it painted a picture, created a mood, even if the story wasn't fully his yet, like an emotional primer.
That's a great way to put it. So fast forward to today, how has that relationship evolved?
Yeah, what does it mean to him now?
Well, now that he has lived enough to feel those stories more deeply, listening to KLYMAX offers this distinct kind of comfort. It's become, for him, the perfect soundtrack for finding closure within yourself.
Wow, closure. That's powerful.
Yeah.
So it shifted from anticipation and mood setting to something more therapeutic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he notes its paradoxical nature now. It feels cold, yet sensual, honest, yet comforting.
That's a really interesting combination of feelings.
Isn't it? He says it still echoes in his quietest moments, connecting him to emotions he might otherwise try to avoid.
So it's like a safe space to confront those harder feelings. Art doing its work.
You got it. It's become this active tool for self-reflection. He even calls it a great sing-along.
A sing-along for closure.
Huh, yeah. But one that also cools down heated thoughts and helps him explore the reasons behind his own, quote, chill, that sort of emotional distance or introspection he might feel.
So it helps him understand himself better.
Seems like it. Even when he's not actively seeking comfort, it's there, inviting him to slow down, immerse himself in the sound.
So ultimately, KLYMAX is this deep exploration, lust, love, solitude, connection, all of it.
Yeah. And Don frames it as an album for anyone learning to find that closure within, to turn emptiness into something soothing through sound, and maybe embrace that inner chill as meaningful, not just cold.
It really speaks to the enduring power of honest art, that combination of raw messaging and masterful production, creating something timeless.
Absolutely, like those deep midnight conversations that stay with you long after dawn.
A perfect description.
So to really get a feel for how it achieves this, maybe we should touch on some specific tracks.
Definitely. Let's break it down a bit. Where does it start?
Okay, so track 1 is The Valley, and it's described as this haunting, atmospheric opener.
Setting the mood right away.
Totally. It maps out the landscape of Love's Abyss, as Don puts it. Their production just immediately pulls you into this melancholic, yet really captivating space.
Yeah.
It signals the depth that's coming.
Got it. And then?
Then we get Soul Touch. This was the lead single.
Ah, okay. The introduction for many people.
Right. And here, KLY brings this chilling honesty, but over really thrilling production. It's described simply as sultry at its best. It showcases that directness about desire and intimacy, but with vulnerability too.
Nice balance. What's next?
Next up is 5 a.m. in the East. This one feels different. Don calls it the cold anthem for those strictly about business.
Okay, shifting gears. Features.
Yeah, it features Frank Casino and Pretty Ugly, and the track just channels that raw energy of the city at night, or maybe super early morning. It feels hard, determined, unapologetic.
You like the sound of the hustle?
Exactly. The beat itself feels kind of crisp and cold, driving home that focused mood.
Interesting contrast. Then
Comes, Where Were You? This one is described as a direct interrogation.
ooh, confrontational.
Yeah, it's got bounce and intensity, but the production really heightens the tension. And it contrasts sharply with KLY's really blunt, almost accusatory lyrics.
Creating that push-pull makes you feel the weight of the question.
Definitely. After that intensity, though, we get Come With Me.
A shift again.
Yeah, big shift. This was presented as a simple, super smooth invitation to just let go. Surrender to the moment.
Sultry serenade territory again.
Totally. The lyrics, the warm production, it all makes it the ideal sultry serenade. It's got this magnetic vibe, pulls you right in.
Sounds inviting. Where does he go from there?
Next is Saturday Night. This one feels really passionate, emotionally intense.
How so?
Well, the description is that KLY is pleading here, trying to restore some lost peace. His voice feels like it's beating right along with your heart. It's a moment of real, raw vulnerability, longing for reconciliation or calm.
Deep emotional resonance there. And how does it wrap up?
The album closes with just Moxie. This is the outro, and it's noticeably more lively, more energetic than a lot of the album.
Ending on an upswing.
Kind of. It showcases a different side described as how they move and who moves with them. It gives this perfect, almost celebratory close to the whole journey. Sends you off with a burst of energy, which is quite a contrast to the introspective path before it.
So it takes you through the depths but leaves you with a sense of moving forward. That's quite a journey Don describes.
It really is.
Yeah.
And thinking about how these tracks build that overall narrative for Don, from how it first hit him to how it helps him find closure now, it's incredible craftsmanship.
Clearly more than just a collection of songs, it's a whole emotional arc.
Absolutely. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How certain albums just evolve with you. They gain deeper meanings as you grow and change, almost like companions on your own life journey.
Mm-hmm. They become part of your story.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, what albums have done that for you? What stories do your key albums tell about your journey? Definitely something to mull over.
It is. Well, thank you for joining this Doncast Deep Dive into albums for the ages.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening.
For more stories, playlists, and insights, you can always visit the Don's domain at donphondeaux.com. And don't forget to check out compilations from a Don for more curated musical journeys. Enjoy loudly, stay sound,